Shisui Uchiha, a straight-up genius from the Uchiha clan. Right after graduating from the academy, and yeah, we're talking right in the middle of the Third Great Ninja War, this kid got thrown straight into hell. Just 1 year after the war ended, Shisui watched his best friend die right in front of him during a mission. That moment hit him so hard it awakened his Mangekyo Sharingan, not because of rage or hate, but because he totally blamed himself for not protecting his friend. Later on, Shisui met Itachi, a 5-year-old kid with eyes way too wise for his age. The two instantly clicked and became like brothers, and honestly, that bond shaped both of their lives completely. As time went on, Shisui's reputation blew up. They started calling him Shisui of the Body Flicker, the dude who moved faster than anyone could even blink. But while his name was rising, Konoha was falling apart. The Fourth Hokage had just died, the Three Sannin were gone, and the Uchiha clan was slowly getting pushed to the edge. Even though he was still young, Shisui could totally see the disaster coming, piece by piece, and he didn't want any of it to happen. Now let's get into the thing that absolutely turned Shisui into a legend, Kotoa Matsukami. This wasn't some regular genjutsu you could spot and break. Kotoa Matsukami let Shisui slip straight into someone's mind and control them without them even realizing they were being controlled. Straight up terrifying. The target would literally believe every choice they made, every move they took, came from their own will. It was the kind of power that could totally end a war without spilling a single drop of blood. The kind of power that could rewrite history without anyone ever noticing history had changed it all. That's exactly why Hiruzen Sarutobi, the third Hokage, trusted Shisui with the mission to stop the Uchiha coup by using Kotoa Matsukami on Fugaku Uchiha, the clan head. But Danzo Shimura? Yeah, he had a whole different idea. He believed manipulating Fugaku alone wasn't enough, and deep down, he was absolutely paranoid that Shisui would eventually come back and use Kotoa Matsukami on him too. So Danzo decided to straight up steal Shisui's eyes before the kid could make a move. During their clash, Shisui easily dominated him, totally outclassed him, but that old sneaky bastard busted out Izanagi, a forbidden jutsu that can rewrite reality itself. He used it to escape and rip out Shisui's right eye. Yeah, Danzo was notoriously dirty like that, always playing the game the foulest way possible. Shisui fully understood that if Danzo was right, if he alone couldn't stop the Uchiha uprising, then the village and the clan were basically going to destroy each other. So he gave his remaining eye to Itachi, putting the entire responsibility of protecting both Konoha and the honor of the Uchiha clan on his little brother's shoulders. And then he jumped into the Naka River and ended his own life. His death instantly awakened Itachi's Mangekyo Sharingan. Shisui turned his final moment into a last gift, the one weapon that could totally help Itachi carry the massive burden Shisui left behind. Sasuke Uchiha. Sasuke was named after Sasuke Sarutobi, with the hope that he'd grow into a truly great shinobi. But instead, he had to live completely in the shadow of Itachi Uchiha, a genius so insanely talented that every achievement Sasuke had felt pointless in comparison. Still, Sasuke didn't hate him. He loved Itachi and totally looked up to him. Anytime Itachi let Sasuke watch him train, or took him into the forest for some little adventure, those moments were Sasuke's happiest memories. But whenever Sasuke asked Itachi to teach him how to get stronger, Itachi would just tap his forehead and promise next time. When Sasuke entered the academy, he was the top student in his class, #1 in every ranking. But Fugaku, his father, kept seeing him as nothing more than Itachi's shadow. Sasuke might have been a prodigy to everyone else, but to Fugaku, he was simply a weaker version of his older brother. Itachi understood this completely, and even though he was always busy, he still tried to act like a second father to Sasuke, even threatening Fugaku so he'd actually spend time with his son. But then Itachi started turning cold and distant from the whole family, especially after the mysterious death of Shisui Uchiha. Fugaku noticed the change immediately and warned Sasuke not to follow the same path Itachi was walking. He already sensed something terrible was coming. The fateful night came when Sasuke got home and saw the streets literally flooded with the bodies of the Uchiha clan. He ran to his house and found Itachi. Sasuke begged him for an explanation, but instead, Itachi hit him with Tsukuyomi, a forbidden genjutsu that makes the victim feel 72 hours of torture in just a few real seconds, forcing Sasuke to witness Itachi killing the entire clan over and over millions of times. Itachi explained coldly, "To test my strength." He told Sasuke that he was too weak to kill, and only when he awakened his Mangekyo Sharingan would he be worthy of dying by Itachi's hand. Before leaving, Itachi ordered Sasuke, "Hate, take revenge, and live for that purpose." Sasuke awakened his Sharingan that night, but then passed out. In that hazy moment, he briefly saw Itachi cry, a memory buried for years. From that night on, Sasuke became one of the last surviving Uchiha, wandering through the now empty clan estate. He decided to dedicate his entire life to revenge, caring about nothing else except killing Itachi. At the academy, Sasuke didn't bother looking for friends, barely noticed any girls trying to get his attention, and saw Naruto, the guy constantly challenging him, as an annoying idiot. And from there, we get the complex love-hate dynamics of Team 7, the insane power-ups and chase for strength by Sasuke, and eventually, a missing nin who comes back and becomes legendary in a different way. Though yeah, that greatness came slightly late. Itachi Uchiha. Itachi Uchiha is the definition of a tragic genius. Born into the Uchiha clan leader's family, he witnessed the Third Great Ninja War at just 4 years old. The death and destruction turned this kid into a peace freak, spending his entire childhood training to wipe war off the world. At 5, Itachi met Shisui, and they became brothers, training together and sharing a dream of peace. At 6, he entered the academy and graduated in just 4 months with perfect scores. At 8, while on a mission protecting the fire daimyo, he watched Tenma Izumo die right in front of him, awakening his Sharingan. By 10, he became a Chunin, and at 11, he joined the Anbu. Absolutely insane. Fugaku, his dad, saw Itachi as proof of the Uchiha's bright future, and sent him to be an Anbu spy to watch over the village. But Itachi knew that the Uchiha coup would trigger intervention from other villages and start another world war. So he became a double agent, secretly reporting Uchiha actions to the Third Hokage, hoping to find a way to keep the peace. Itachi shared the insane burden of betraying his clan with Shisui, but when Shisui died and left his last eye to Itachi, he awakened his man Gekyu Sharingan from the pain of losing the only brother who truly got him. The next day, when the Uchiha started accusing him of killing Shisui, Itachi snapped and wiped the floor with all of them, creating a crack between him and his clan that could never be fixed. At 12, he got promoted to Anbu captain and faced a brutal choice from Danzo. Either support the coup and let the entire clan, including Sasuke, die, or wipe out his clan himself before the coup and save Sasuke. Itachi chose his little bro. Before acting, Itachi noticed a masked figure sneaking into Konoha. He thought it was Madara Uchiha. Itachi proposed a deal. Help Madara destroy the Uchiha for revenge, in exchange for sparing the village. That night, Itachi and Tobi wiped out the entire clan. Itachi personally killed his parents, and they didn't resent him. They were proud and asked him to take care of Sasuke. Haunted by guilt, Itachi decided to make Sasuke the only one capable of punishing him. Using Tsukuyomi, he forced Sasuke to witness the killings millions of times, lying that he did it just to test his own power and experiment on a brother he supposedly never loved. Itachi pushed Sasuke to grow strong enough to wake his man Gekyu Sharingan and one day take revenge. After leaving the village as a traitor, Itachi joined Akatsuki on a secret mission: infiltrate Tobi's organization and stop them from attacking Konoha. While in Akatsuki, he wrecked Orochimaru when the snake tried to steal his body to take the Sharingan, cutting off Orochimaru's left arm and forcing him out. Itachi then got paired with Kisame Hoshigaki, and the two bonded over the fact they both killed their own people. He also recruited Deidara, humiliating him with his Sharingan genjutsu, making Deidara swear revenge for the insult. The biggest thing people often miss is that Itachi had a serious, deadly illness from a really young age. He kept himself alive with medicine and pure willpower, just long enough to die at Sasuke's hands. That's why in their final fight, Itachi never meant to win. Every move he made was to push Sasuke to his absolute limit, make his little bro stronger, and then let Sasuke be the one to end him. Before dying, Itachi had one last moment with Sasuke, apologized, and passed on Amaterasu into Sasuke's eyes as the final shield against Tobi. Sarada Uchiha. Sarada Uchiha, Sasuke's daughter, was born into peace. No wars, no clan massacres, no inherited curse of hatred. But she had to deal with the complete absence of her father. Sarada was born in a secret hideout of Orochimaru, with Karen helping out, while Sakura was traveling with Sasuke on his missions. This detail is way more important than it seems because it explains why there's no official record of Sarada being born at Konoha Hospital, and it's basically the spark for her later identity crisis. When Sasuke left Konoha to investigate Kaguya Otsutsuki, Sarada got seriously sick with a high fever, and from then on had to wear glasses. This was the first time in Uchiha history that a clan member needed glasses to see properly, and ironically, those glasses were a gift from Karen, the same person who kept Sarada's umbilical cord. The cruelest part is that Sarada grew up without ever knowing what her father actually looked like as an adult. She only had old photos and vague promises from Sakura that Sasuke loved them and would come back after finishing his important mission. She missed her dad so much that just the excitement of thinking about meeting him literally awakened her Sharingan. This even led to the classic misunderstanding that Sakura wasn't her mom, a conflict that eventually got resolved. Now she's awakened her Mangekyo Sharingan and is officially one of the strongest eyes in the series. Obito Uchiha. Obito Uchiha is living proof of the saying, "The road to hell is paved with good intentions." The orphaned kid raised by his grandma had the most typical dream in the world, becoming Hokage so everyone would finally notice him. But unlike Naruto, he was born in the middle of a war, grew up feeling like a total loser compared to the genius Kakashi Hatake, and secretly loved Rin Nohara without ever daring to say it. During the Third Great Ninja War, when Rin got kidnapped and Kakashi wanted to prioritize the mission, Obito shouted the legendary line, "A rule breaker is trash, but abandoning your teammate is worse than trash." He charged in solo to save Rin, awakened his two-tomo Sharingan in the heat of battle, saved Kakashi, but then a massive boulder crushed the right half of his body. In his final moments, Obito gave Kakashi his left Sharingan eye as a late Jonin promotion gift and said, "Let my eye see the future with you." This moment literally shaped almost all of Kakashi's career later on. But Obito didn't die. Madara Uchiha, the guy who had lived far too long and needed a successor, saved him and implanted Hashirama Senju cells into Obito's body. This allowed him to use Mokuton and heal injuries at insanely fast speed. While recovering, Obito heard that Rin and Kakashi were about to die in Kirigakure. He rushed over, and guess what? Kakashi, the guy Obito literally entrusted his life and his eye to, was using Chidori to pierce Rin's heart. Obito didn't know it was Kirigakure's plan to turn Rin into the Three Tails Jinchuriki to destroy Konoha, and that Rin had voluntarily died by Kakashi's hand to protect the village. All Obito saw was his best friend killing the person he loved the most. The shock instantly awakened the Mangekyo Sharingan in both eyes, the remaining eye in Obito's socket and the one he gave Kakashi. Obito went absolutely berserk, using Kamui combined with Mokuton to slaughter every Kirigakure ninja present, then held Rin's body in a sea of blood. And that, my friends, is the past of a villain. Fast forward to Madara, Obito inherited the Eye of the Moon plan, a plan to create a dream world with no suffering, a world where Rin was still alive, a world with no war or loss. Obito started his journey to destroy the real world so he could remake it. He manipulated Nagato and Akatsuki, controlled Yagura, the fourth Mizukage, and, most importantly, attacked Konoha on the night Naruto was born, releasing Kurama and indirectly killing Minato and Kushina. 12 years later, Obito helped Itachi massacre the Uchiha clan and collect Sharingan to stockpile as spare Dojutsu. Later, under the name Madara, Obito declared war on all 5 ninja villages, kicked off the Fourth Great Ninja War, revived the Ten Tails, became its Jinchuriki, and reached power levels surpassing even Hashirama Senju. But deep down, Obito was still that 13-year-old kid hurting over Rin's death. When Naruto, the kid Obito indirectly made an orphan, reached the part of Obito that was still human with words, the mask started to crack. Yeah, the power of negotiation, my friends. In the end, Obito sacrificed himself to save Kakashi and Naruto from Kaguya's bones, using Kamui one last time to give Kakashi a perfect Susanoo, and finally reunited with Rin in the afterlife. Madara Uchiha. Madara Uchiha is literally the definition of a legend. Born in the Warring States era, when kids were thrown onto the battlefield as soon as they could hold a kunai, Madara was the eldest son of Tajima Uchiha and had 4 younger brothers, But the war with the Senju killed 3 of them, leaving only Izuna. From a young age, Madara showed terrifying talent, defeating adult ninja like it was nothing. What's wild is he awakened his Sharingan not from the pain of losing family, but from cutting ties with Hashirama Senju, the kid he had once met by the river and dreamed with of a peaceful world. When he grew up and became Uchiha clan leader, Madara kept fighting the Senju, and during one battle, he awakened his Man-Gekyu Sharingan. But like all Uchiha, using the Man-Gekyu slowly stole his eyesight. Later, when Izuna died from severe injuries under Tobirama's blade, Madara took his brother's eyes and implanted them into himself, unlocking the eternal Man-Gekyu Sharingan. A Sharingan that never goes blind and has power far beyond anything the world had ever seen. With the eternal Man-Gekyu, Madara launched his final attack on the Senju, but still got defeated by Hashirama. The crazy part? Hashirama didn't kill him. He begged for Madara's forgiveness and even tried to convince him to build peace together. Madara agreed, and he was actually the one who named the new village, Konoha, the Hidden Leaf Village. But when Hashirama was chosen as Hokage, Madara freaked out, thinking the Senju would dominate and the Uchiha would get crushed. He read the Uchiha clan stone tablet, not knowing it had been tampered with by Black Zetsu, and became convinced that infinite Tsukuyomi was the only way to save the world from suffering. Madara left Konoha, controlled Kurama with his Sharingan, and attacked Hashirama at the Valley of the End, where he was believed to have died at the hands of his old friend. But here's where it gets insane. Madara used Izanagi, a forbidden jutsu that can rewrite reality for a few seconds, to survive at the cost of completely blinding one eye. He even bit off a piece of Hashirama's flesh and implanted it into his own wound. Decades later, when Madara was old and near death, the Hashirama cells in his body did the impossible. They awakened the Rinnegan, the legendary eyes of Rikudo Sennin. With the Rinnegan, Madara summoned Gedo Mazo, the Ten-Tails statue, and could produce thousands of white Zetsu using Hashirama cells. He implanted the Rinnegan into Nagato, a kid with Uzumaki blood, and from the shadows, he watched over Konoha. During the Third Great Ninja War, Madara found Obito badly injured after getting crushed by that huge boulder. Instead of letting him die, Madara saved him and trained him. But this wasn't kindness, it was pure investment. Madara put a seal on Obito's heart to control him and even staged Rin Nohara's death to push Obito fully into darkness. When Obito awakened his Mangekyu Sharingan from that pain, Madara knew he had found the perfect heir. Before actually dying, Madara created Black Zetsu, which he believed was his will, but was really Kaguya Otsutsuki's, and handed Obito the name Madara Uchiha to wear like a mask of power. During the Fourth Great Ninja War, Kabuto revived Madara with Edo Tensei, and the battlefield basically became his personal aura farm. He awakened the Rinnegan and dropped 2 massive meteors onto the 4th Allied Shinobi Division, killing thousands of ninja in seconds. When the 5 Kage attacked together, Madara wiped them all out by himself, almost killing Tsunade, and honestly, he could have killed everyone if he wanted. Later, Madara was fully resurrected with Rinne Tensei, free from Edo Tensei's limits. He stole Hashirama's Senjutsu, collected all 9-tailed beasts, and became the Ten-Tails Jinchuriki. At this state, Madara had truth-seeking balls, spheres that could destroy anything at a molecular level, and Limbo, border jail, a jutsu that creates invisible clones in another dimension that only someone with Rinnegan can see. Madara flew up to the moon, awakened the Rinne Sharingan on his forehead, and activated infinite Tsukuyomi, wrapping the entire world in the divine tree and trapping everyone in an eternal dream. This was the moment Madara thought he had won. But Black Zetsu betrayed him, stabbing right through his chest and turning Madara into a vessel to resurrect Kaguya Otsutsuki. After Naruto and Sasuke sealed Kaguya, the Ten-Tails was ripped from Madara's body, and he finally died. For real this time. Still, he's one hell of a legend to kill. Honestly, If Kaguya never showed up, Madara could have kept aura farming forever, and the whole world might have just turned into white Zetsu. Kagami Uchiha. Kagami Uchiha was part of the very first generation to graduate from Konoha Ninja Academy, teammates with legends who would shape the village's future. Hiruzen Sarutobi, Danzo Shimura, Koharu Utatane, and Homura Mitokado. What's insane is that Tobirama Senju, the guy who hated the Uchiha the most in Konoha, trusted Kagami completely and picked him for the elite six-man squad under the Hokage. That's huge if you know Tobirama later built the system that isolated the Uchiha clan. During the First Great Ninja War, when the Hokage escort team got trapped by Kinkaku's squad, Kagami watched Tobirama sacrifice himself as bait to save his team and appoint Hiruzen as the third Hokage. But honestly, in battle, Kagami's Sharingan was crazy enough to save Danzo multiple times thanks to insane prediction and reaction skills. Later, Tobirama compared Kagami to Itachi, calling them two rare Uchiha who put the village above their clan. Kagami died at just 25, leaving only one heir, Shisui Uchiha. Shisui admitted he could never measure up to his ancestor, showing just how ridiculously strong Kagami truly was. Too bad we never got to witness it ourselves. Izuna Uchiha. Izuna Uchiha was Madara's younger brother. From a young age, he trained and fought brutally alongside Madara to get stronger. Both of them awakened the Sharingan and became the first in Uchiha history to unlock the Mangekyo Sharingan. He was insanely strong, only Madara was stronger at that time. In a fateful battle against the Senju, Izuna faced off directly against Tobirama Senju, the fastest ninja of that era, and held his ground, until Tobirama used Hiraishin to seriously wound him. When Hashirama offered peace, Izuna refused, not trusting the Senju, and told Madara to retreat. Before dying at just 24, Izuna voluntarily gave his eyes to Madara, creating the first eternal Mangekyo Sharingan in history. Tajima Uchiha. Tajima Uchiha was the clan leader of the Uchiha during the Warring States era, a time when kids were basically born as living weapons. He was the father of Izuna and Madara. Tajima was on the same level as Butsuma Senju, Hashirama's father. He once pulled off a totally life-or-death ambush at the riverbank. He brought Izuna with him and let Izuna and Tobirama go at it. When Butsuma showed up, both clan heads attacked at the same time, each aiming straight for the other guy's kid. But Madara and Hashirama jumped in and completely ruined the plan. What's wild is that when Madara admitted Hashirama was stronger than him, Tajima actually backed off. He saw Madara awaken his Sharingan, and for him, that alone was absolutely enough. Tajima died before Konoha was founded, probably in some battle against the Senju. Back then, dying young was totally normal. His main role in the story is basically being Madara's father, and that alone makes him ridiculously important. Mikoto Uchiha. Mikoto Uchiha was Fugaku's wife, the mother of Itachi and Sasuke. She used to be a talented jonin of Konoha, but stepped back to be the family support after marrying clan leader Fugaku Uchiha. Mikoto was best friends with Kushina Uzumaki, and she was one of the few people who knew Naruto was Minato's son. Before Naruto was born, Mikoto even took baby Sasuke to meet Kushina. As a mother, Mikoto taught Sasuke how to throw shuriken, comforted him when Itachi kept abandoning him for missions, and, most importantly, acted as a bridge between Sasuke and Fugaku. She revealed to Sasuke that when Fugaku was alone with Mikoto, he would talk only about Sasuke and how proud he was of his son. Things Fugaku could never say directly to Sasuke, Mikoto understood her role: to help her son feel his father's love, even from a cold man. With Itachi, even though she suspected her son's strange behavior in his final days, Mikoto still gave him unconditional love. No questions, no blame. On the night of the Uchiha clan massacre, Itachi let his parents live until the very last moment. When Itachi stepped into the house, Mikoto was beside Fugaku, and she didn't resist. She already knew this was going to happen. She understood why. And most importantly, she forgave her son before Itachi even explained anything. This was Mikoto's final act of love, to ease Itachi's pain by showing him she held no resentment, that she understood he was doing what needed to be done, and that she was proud of him, even though Sasuke would never know it. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.